tricks you bottle, and everyone ain't slow. Ooh, come on, yeah, couldn't find it, baby. With you, we can be a gunfighter. Far away, we can be a gunfighter. No, we can be a gunfighter. I don't know how, but I recall that home dream. I was always shit at that. We were at a drive-in, junior men kissing clean. We were parked in the back. They were showing some A24 pair I see, beautiful and full of sad. Then I get so lightheaded like her on the screen. Might be going mad. Somehow in the dream you knew that my heart would break semi-automatically. You said when you can't find quite enough air that it takes, copy how I breathe. We were doubled up and crying. You were right there by me. Midsummer empathy. See how I need you. Everyone goes, everyone gives up the ghost. Let it be known, all the proud hours I hold around you. See us in red and black, mirrored right over you. I won't give one thing back. That's how bad I need you. As it dries, second film is on. Cinephiles recognize it from tone. You took a smoke break, I knew what that meant. So long to past 10. You know I'm aggressively allergic. I'm sick of this party and we have to go home early. Windows are down, I'm alright, and I don't blame you. The telephone pole bad news. No blood, no revenue. See, I still need you. Everyone goes, everyone gives up the ghost. Let it be known, all the proud hours I hold around you. See us in red and black, mirrored right over you. I won't give one thing back. That's how bad I need you. That's how bad I need you. How bad I need you.
You were the one I wanted, even if I didn't know it yet. You told me sweetly, your head on my chest. Then we did that weekly, till it was all a mess. and you asked me sweetly, does it still make sense? I'm having a hard time keeping this all in check, but I love you deeply. You took my hand so gently. We fell in love accidentally. I don't ever wanna keep you waiting, and you don't ever wanna change my mind. I guess we're living in a love that's fading. We'll be dead by the summertime. But if you ever wanna start things over, if you ever wanna try again, you can call me anytime of day, girl. Yeah, you still got a friend. This wasn't what I wanted, but sometimes that's what you get. Yeah, it's all a whirlwind, the memories are all that's left. Sometimes I can't help but wonder, do you have a new lover yet? It's just the cost of living, and time spent with you took my hand so.
Virginia don't sound like she used to. Walking home late, smoking my lungs and whiskey burning in my veins. December won't be so forgiving. I'm haunted by a ghost of you and my past colliding. I can never go home. When in the night, when in the night, thought that I heard you laughing. Wasn't that you, my darling? Virginia don't sound like she used to. Virginia don't feel like she used to. But I can feel her heart beating for me, baby. I know her heart's beating for me, baby. Virginia don't sound like she used to. Virginia don't feel like she used to. But I can feel her heart beating for me, baby. I know her heart's beating for me, yeah. I've traveled all over in my life, but nothing slowed me down. This place that I used to love, well, it's just another town. Wind in the night, the wind in the night. Remember I caught you dancing alone in that first apartment. Virginia don't sound like she used to. Virginia don't feel like she used to. But I can feel her heart beating for me, baby. I know her heart's beating for me, baby. Virginia don't sound like she used to. Virginia don't feel like she used to. But I can feel her heart beating for me, baby. I know her heart's beating for me, yeah. Virginia don't sound like she used to. Virginia don't feel like she used to. I can feel her heart beating for me, baby. Another heart beating for me, yeah. Virginia don't sound like she used to. Virginia don't feel like she used to. But I can feel her heart beating for me, baby. I know her heart's beating for me, yeah. Virginia don't sound like she used to. Virginia don't feel like she used to.
All right, everyone. So you can unmute me. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I am so sorry. I hope that you can all at least hear me. We were having some technical difficulties. Like right before showtime, we had a glitch in the electricity, and of course, it just messed everything up. So we had to basically reset up everything. So here we are. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. Oh, hold on one second. Sorry, Megan is helping me over there, and we are having some sound come through. Can you open the participants panel and mute the participants in the Jitsi meeting, please? Guys, if you're in the Jitsi meeting, can you mute your microphone? Okay. You're fine. You're fine. Oh, it's oh, this is really bad. There we go. All right. Actually, I'm seeing a lot of lag in my video. I hope it's not doing that for you guys, but if it is, I apologize. Anyway, we are just getting everything set up, and I do have two wonderful assistants with me tonight, Megan and Lisa, who have come to help me put on this party with you. So Megan is watching the chat panel so that when we do a lot of the interactive stuff, hopefully, actually, I'm getting a really lot of lag on my side, so I hope it's not doing that for everybody. Anyway, so my name is Joey. Anyway, we're here to celebrate the publication of my second poetry collection, Happy Place. And even though maybe this stream isn't going the best, I put a lot of hard work into this book. And I'm really happy that you guys have come to celebrate with me tonight. I have some prizes, of course, some autographed books, t-shirts, lots of fun stuff. So I have fun stuff planned for us. I'm of course going to read some poetry for you. I'm planning on doing an open mic at the end. Right now, if you're just listening during the performance, it's going to be best on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. But when it comes time for the open mic, we'll ask you to join the Jitsi Meet, which is when we'll be able to hear your audio. Okay. But you don't have to join that till later because I know sometimes the Jitsi Meet does end up a little laggy from the rest of the streams. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I wanted to do is just talk about what brought me to Happy Place. And like I said, Happy Place is my second self-published collection of poetry, but it is not my first poetry book. I have always created books ever since I was a little girl. And so to show you just how far I've come and how wonderful of a creation this was, I brought for you one of the books I created way back in the day. So we're talking 1996, right? 1996, I made this book of poetry. So I was in high school back then, so that'll age me a little bit, but you notice it has this nice binding with its nice braided yarn and a lot of poems that I wrote when I was younger and going through, the stuff that kids go through. But I thought it was funny because it's got this like Windows 95 clip art chicken on a beach, and I don't know, it was just kind of funny that that's where I started with my poetry books. And over the years, I've just put together just book after book, just prototype after prototype of all of my poetry books. Honestly, I have all these like paperclip bindings and just fun things all the way up to, of course, All Shards and Pays, which was my first published book that went out in 2019. And I'm really proud of that, super proud of that book, but definitely my second book blows it out of the water. Just look at this cover. I did so much better. I learned so much on the first one. I did such a better job on this one. And so let's go ahead and get started. I am going to read for you the first poem. So this one is called Beautifully Broken. And to me, this poem is really the epitome of the book. It's this acknowledging and accepting all of your dents and cracks and then turning that into something beautiful that you get to share with other people. Okay, Beautifully Broken. Unapologetically me, I have to be. survivor with frequent bleeds, from sharp edges gorged to the bone along stolen pieces, the consequences of other people's evils, their unfulfilled needs and unlearned lessons. Blindfolded and trying to read the symbols and sketches. I think it's Taiwanese and trigonometry, 2 of 7,096 languages I don't speak. It is what it is. I try, I grieve, thread my own needle through my own skin, grit to rip again and again, pull my wounds into verses adrift, tinkling the stars who catch a whiff, stain their carpet as I spark, and then overfill our glasses, seep through the cracks with my glitter heart's effervescence. We may sparkle and fizz, run headfirst into each other, smother the next decade in the lash, the fingertips of our violet flames, until we burn out, flake, like paper ball ash in October wind. Or maybe we don't start, we don't put our toes at go, because we know we're just gonna spin and crash our ghosts, explode anyway. It's hard to love someone who wasn't loved. I know. I try. I grieve. Here, have a poem. Thank you. So that one is beautifully broken. It's like the second poem in Happy Place. And I'm so excited to be able to share these with you guys. And so I want to get to the first prize. And the first prize is going to be a quiz. So my good assistant, Megan, is going to copy and paste a link to a form into the chats so that you can respond to the quiz. And everyone who answers correctly will be put into a little spin for a prize. And the prize is, of course, an autographed copy of Happy Place and this beautiful red t-shirt that goes along with the poem that I just read to you, Beautifully Broken. And I made this right in my Joey poetry workshop. I need my window back, please. Thank you. And sorry, Megan's just getting used to this. So I'm telling you, we are running a tight ship here. But anyway, so go ahead, and once you put your response into that form, she's going to copy your names, put it in a little spinner, and then we'll pick a winner for an autographed book and this nice, beautifully broken t-shirt. All right, I'm going to give you 10 more seconds to enter. How are we doing over there, Megan? Getting any responses? Sure, here. Oh, wait, here, hold on 1 second. Let me go help Megan real quick. 1 second. No worries, because yeah.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah. So you're,
Oh, it's in this.
yay, there we go. Sorry. No, you're fine. There you go. And all right, you're good. All right. Sorry, we did, for the record, we had it set up so that she only had to chat in like 2 little places, and it was all nice and wonderful, but yeah, we had to reset everything. So some of the setup is a little glitchy, but you know, it is what it is. Thank you for sticking around for toughing it out with us anyway. I really appreciate it. And so you have your spreadsheet. Are you starting to see any of the responses come in yet? We'll give them a couple minutes to respond. Give you a couple minutes. All right. Oh, you need help with that too? Here. Yeah. Here, I know.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Here, look. So they're all going to be there. There you go. There we go. So there you go. All right. So, well, I only saw one response, and I know there's more than one person out there to respond to this quiz. So what is the etymology of poet? So what is the root meaning of the word poet? And I'll give you a hint. It's Greek, and it goes all the way down to a Greek poetes. So what does poetes mean? Does it mean speaker, maker, word singer, or word painter? What do you think? You seeing any responses come in there? Something coming through?
Word singer, I'm a speaker, that's
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Two responses, and neither of them were correct. You have to get a correct response to win a prize. So no.
Just two so far. Yeah, and question.
Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds, guys, to put in your response, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the two people that responded into the drawing for the prize anyway, even if they didn't get it correct in there. No worries. All right, let's just take those names then. We'll just take those two.
Oh, somebody said maker.
Oh, somebody did send the right response. Did you look it up, Michelle? I know you looked it up. I'm just teasing. So here's what I'm gonna go ahead and put all of you in there though. Except for the I don't know. All right. And I'm only doing this for you because I need to set this guy up. Sorry, it did reset a lot of our slides. So I'll go ahead. We're going to close the poll and go to the spinner slide. So here's the correct response is the etymology. So it means maker. And here, I'm going to make sure I go to here. I think that was right. All right. Sorry, guys. Like I said, this was all wonderfully set up before we got started, and then we just at the last minute had to reset everything, and so we just have to go for it. So all right. So I'm gonna take the two people that did respond, put them in there. I don't know doesn't count. And Michelle, since you answered correctly, I'm definitely going to give you something anyway. And then we're going to go ahead and do the spin. All right. There we go. And Michelle, let's see, and I think we know both you guys. So Michelle, I know you, yay, you get the book and the shirt. And since I know you, I'll give those to you. You don't have to fill out the form and tell me your address since I know who you are. Thank you guys for participating. By the way, if you participate in anything during this session, I'm going to put you in so all you have to do is participate in anything and you get into that final drawing too. Okay. All right, let's move on then to, can you activate my OBS window, please? And we're going to go ahead into the next poem. This one is called I Don't Hate Them. Now, we don't all get good parents. I tell my kids this all the time. But we do get an opportunity to learn, right? Even from our parents' mistakes and some of the cycles that they've been through. And a lot of the things that I've dealt with in my poetry is my relationship with my parents and how that's affected me as a parent. And I'm just really dead set on breaking cycles. And part of that healing is accepting my parents for who they were and the histories that they had, and being able to, of course, write poetry and get through that. So this poem is called I Don't Hate Them. I don't hate her, I don't hate him. They are the whom's I'm from, and no matter what they did or did not give, or that they'd thrash and hit and then get rid of me, despite all of it, I never could hate them. Nope, not one bit. But I'm hurt and I'm mad that I had to grab for the crumbs that they scattered, a pigeon pecking up scraps dropped in cracks by the people I loved. And I dug for every speck despite their whims, deep down with everything I was, even when they could not or would not love me back. Through all of that, I could not have less love for them. I'm trying to forgive, trying to heal within, figuring out how to feel the things they chose not to teach when I was learning to live. Hug my own kids and remember that my parents were the products of love they didn't get. little pigeons starved and feathers stripped. I don't hate them, not then, not now, not one bit. But I have to do better than they did. Thank you. The next one is also one that speaks to younger Joey. And this one was actually based off of a writing group prompt. So this is one that I did as part of an online writing group. And the prompt was, if you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would you say? And of course, I would tell my younger self a billion things, but generally I ended up coming back to this same message, and I think it is a message for the ages, for all the young girls out there. You are way more than the waistline/cup size score. Some of these Joes will try to tag to your toes and pose you to fill. Each of those dudes, ego slaves in the boardroom, barroom, and bedroom, will spill his self-loathing all over your pretty dress if he so much as supposes you might be smarter or deeper or happier than he can impress anyone to guess he might be. If you have more than he has in anything, he most definitely will take your acts of service, bricks and mortar of affirmations, as long as you give, as big as you will build him, while he covertly digs, makes little cracks in your surface, rips your seams and chips your senses, erodes you speck by speck, until you are bent and left alone, which is exactly when he homes in, because he'll know he's winning and he'll start ripping boulders from your cliff. Then you'll see it, your heart and liver shrivel exposed to the cold. And he'll pack those holes with chunks of him until the whole dream board, all the orgasms, are a big marker scribble of his last name and his gigs, things lined up how he wants them and on his schedule, his whims and how tired he is, and how you don't appreciate anything he did for you. Girl, your purpose is not a dude. Lace up those shoes. Crisscross double knot. No tags for you, young Joey. Yeah, no tags for you, young Joey. I have one more poem and before we get to our next prize, and that is Implied Secrets. So Implied Secrets is the poem on the back of the book. And this one is just basically just why I write poetry. It is, it's my healing place. It's where I go to process things, to make sense of the world and my feelings and all the chaos, right? So poetry is my place, and the title, Implied Secrets, is actually a throwback to a poem called 20 something in my first book. And so, yeah, decades and decades ago, 20 something. And the line is that it's all I've ever had in this world, right? A book full of implied secrets. And so that's what these are to me, right? My book of my deepest secrets and me processing all of my feelings. So implied secrets. Poetry slides an incisor behind our addiction to living, rips essence from its bones and grinds us chunk to paste, half sustenance, the rest waste. Verses are beds for the senseless, masturbated to perfect sense. Sentiments and sympathies and micro doses of self-psychoanalytics affixed to symptoms, tics, and epiphanies. Come inside. We have odes to sing. So thank you. Now let's go into our second quiz. So this is the last quiz. This is the last kind of fun quizzy thing we're going to have. Once again, Megan's going to put the link in the chat so that you can respond to the quiz. And what I want to know here is, what is the opposite of an epic poem? So an epic, right, is a book-length poem. So what's the opposite of an epic? Is it haiku? Is it sipe, which by the way is epic spelled backward. Is it limerick or is it a monostick? And we'll give you a couple minutes to answer that. And while you do, the prize for this one is an autographed copy of Happy Place, the hardback copy, and a set of my custom wooden bookmarks. So again, creating books is not enough for me. I must also poetry craft, and so I make all of these fun things: T-shirts, mugs, and of course wooden bookmarks. So answer this one correct, or actually, if you answer it all, I think we'll put you in the drawing. But definitely, if you're the one that answers correctly, then we'll make sure you get something too. So go ahead. We'll give you 10 more seconds to answer that. What is the opposite of an epic poem? And then we will go ahead and do the little spinner. Do you have stuff coming into your sheet there, Megan?
Kelly says he can't log into the page.
Oh, it's not working? Well, then go ahead and put it in your chat panels. If you get it correctly, I think we can type in your names real quick, right? So go ahead and just put it in the chat panel where you are. You know, a form didn't open. That's not the worst thing that happened today. And then, so if you have a couple of answers, just let me know when you're ready for me to switch to the spinny slide, and I will switch that, and we'll do the spin for the prizes. Which one is it? So I think maybe Charlie thinks he knows the answer this time, huh? Don't cheat. Don't look it up. Don't Google it. Nobody's allowed to Google. There's no Googling allowed in poetry prizes. Okay. Is that it? Is that it? All right. Well, yeah. Just make sure there's no more, and then I'll tell you what the right answer is, which is haiku. So Laura says haiku. All right. Okay. So here's the correct answer. It is monostick. A monostick is a. Here, let me switch to the correct slide here. Spinny. So we need to go to in the spinny thing. The tab 2. The opposite of an epic poem is a monostick. That's a one-line poem. And actually, I think there was only one person that got that correct, right? It was.
Actually, there was another. I just saw in the some did go through apparently.
Oh, good.
So
Oh,
in the spreadsheet.
oh, good.
Jennifer Bowman and Monica.
Okay, good. So there's two. There's two correct answers. So let's put them into the spinner and see who gets. It's in the second tab. Yeah, I know, right? It's all these browsers, and it's in the second tab. You're all right. Here, let me come over. No, let me. You got it? Nope. Here, I got you. Here, let me see this. Yeah, here. Oh, you know what? That's my fault because we. Yeah, that was my fault because we didn't have a chance to set them all up. So here, just do this for that. Sorry. I apologize. I did have tabs set up for all of them, but we'll just have to duplicate it like that. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, guys. Can't do anything about the electricity, you know what I mean? And that just like short circuit everything. Yes. And then let's give them a spin and see who gets the autographed hardback and the wooden bookmarks for this one. Is Jennifer. Okay, awesome. So yay, Jennifer. So Jennifer, Megan is going to, in the chat, put a link to another form. Go ahead and just send me your name and address and then mark quiz number 2 for the prize, and that way I know where to send your prize to. So she'll put that in the chat for you. And while she's doing that, thank you so much for participating, guys, and we will go ahead and go on to the next one. So we are going. That was just not working. My key's not working. Hold on. There we go. All right, there we go. Now we're good. All right. This is all right. We got 2 people working on the same computer. It happens. All right, so Shark in the Shallows, the next poem is it's kind of funny. So when I was 14, I moved to Florida with my dad and had the privilege of living a mile away from the inlet. And so, of course, being 14 from Pittsburgh, in the sunshine, enjoying myself. That's okay. Just don't touch anything else. That's okay. You bumped my slide forward. That's okay. Don't touch anything else at the moment. Um, and anyway, so I went to the beach with my friends, and we were in only about um, up to my ribs maybe, and we were just jumping the waves and having fun. And all of a sudden, just I jumped a wave, and then another one came in and smashed me in the face, and then another one, and I was just kind of tumbling through the water for a while. I had this near death experience, and at the end of it, I just stood up and was so thankful that I was on the beach and not out into the ocean. But that's the funny part. The not funny part is that I live with depression, and sometimes when I go through my lows, they feel a lot like that. They feel a lot like just being thrown around in a fit of chaos and then just being dropped at the end like it never happened. So this is where Shark in the Shallows comes from. You splash your foam over my shiny pebble beach and make warm toast sink in the cloudy surf, twist in the seaweed. You make grains of homes and mountains, melt castles into their moats as you recede. Can you activate the OBS window, please? There we go. I am the specks of rounded glass. You pull by the ankle and splash through gas, trapped and tossed from barrel to undertow. Drag my bones a few feet deep, crack my flesh on the coral, shake me between your teeth, and then let go. Set me ragged back on the blank canvas sand of my beach, like you never even wanted me. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. I think our keys were overlapping there, Megan. And it started flipping through the poem. Okay, the next one is called Last Word. So this one is about just coming out of toxic relationships and getting to that point where you don't need revenge, you don't need to be right, you just need to be out. You just need to be done with it and be able to move on and into the next thing. So, last word. I don't need to make the last sound. You can speak it, yell it, growl it, think the final thought about it, rip your exclamation point onto the trifold paper, and then drop it in a crowd to tell the world about us and all the wrong I did. My knife doesn't have to cut the bloodiest deepness of your being to free me. I don't need you to bleed. I am done, my love. You won. The world can believe your story, and you keep the royalties. All I want, please, is the arbor knot locking my ankles undone, and I promise I'll run. Thank you. That one, last word, and it kind of just moves into the next one. So one of the relationships that I recently lost was a very, very good best friend, like over decades best friend. But, you know, things come to an end. It happens. I wouldn't have chose it, but in the ending, there was some hitting below the belt. So I don't think we're going back to it. But at the same time, I don't want to diminish what it meant to me for those 20 plus years that we had that friendship and how far that friendship got me, even though it ended. We are the white dust, evidence of twisted limb placement, pulling all eyes to the stains and casings, the charred pavement, splattered dealings of little drops of feelings, saved in snapshots that will never meet justice. We died in the silence before the wick fizzle, became numb to the skin sizzle way before the shrapnel severed us in two. You, me. Now for the piles of bears, the thoughts and prayers, dingy, disintegrating like the ellipses, ending all love stories. We died here. So that is our story. The next one, so those last ones were a little bit about my personal relationships with people. This next one is actually about my relationship with the community at large. So I'll call it our bigger culture. And I've been grappling a lot recently with where I fit in there and how I fit in there, because I don't really see eye to eye with anybody completely. And I feel like we've just gotten to this place where everybody is so divided, and we're just always looking for ways to make it us and them. And so the same rain is me trying to pull us back together. We don't belong on different pages. Our margins and character spacing are just shades of painted cardboard. Clouds and trees and spotlights strove deleting every other frame of our slow motion plots scripted on right stages. Chant our lines and exit for costume changes. We are thumb smudged, charcoal splices of cotton fibers, blurred at the edges of evergreen hills and hedges. Watercolor bleeds, separating leaves of palm tree beaches from desert tumbleweeds. Acrylic cliffs and rivers stretched across a canvas. Oil-smeared steel tracks that drown the feigned light against black and green. We've been taught to think we feel estranged. So we fist to eye, hard lines between you and me. But we all drink the sun's heat, thunder feet to ground, a stomp, twirl, tiptoe, misstep, trip through these human experiences. Spill into this synchronous masterpiece, mixed media existence of us. The same curtains close, all paper disintegrates, every note is swallowed by the decades. Our hands embrace, we bow, catch flowers, smack a kiss and blow, bow, wave, bow. We crave the after-storm drip drops applauding on pavements and windows and umbrellas and mother's wings. We want, feel, dream, chase, need the same things. Same, right? I have one more that I prepared for you. And this one is called Home Stretch. So I turned 46 in November, so I think it's official that I'm over the hump now. So like I might live to be 90, but I think it's safe to say that half of my life is definitely over at this point. But as I start reflecting on what's ahead and what's behind, I don't know, maybe this is that midlife crisis that we do, where we reflect on those two things. But I myself have already experienced a lot of loss and a lot of goodbyes, hard goodbyes. And it occurred to me that ahead, right, are a whole bunch of goodbyes. But at the same time, we have to be really grateful to have made it here at all, because again, I know people who died young, people important to me that aren't here. And in fact, for this one, I'm getting my wine. So if you have your wine, this is the poem to bring out your wine, because we are going to toast at the end. This one is called Homestretch. Here we are, riding the last trickling grains, sums of breaths chipped from cliffs into letters of stories we tell. Fingernails on glass, we slip and drip faster through the narrowed neck as ghosts in space add weight to our heels. We've dug in to brace. We skid the pavement, but there's no breaking into all the goodbyes ahead. So let's sit with it, lift our heads and celebrate the dead. Cheers, old friends, to living this moment, anyway, anyhow. A toast to us right now. Cheers. So, and here's what, so this next part, I was opening it up to Q&A. So you can chat questions or requests. So if you've read either of my books and you wanted to hear one of the poems from either of them that I haven't read yet, or you just have a question about one of them, you have a question about the publishing process, where you can get Happy Place, anything, now is your opportunity to go ahead and put it into the chats. And Megan is going to pick up questions. And again, if you participate in this part, you could go into the drawing for another prize, autographed book and bookmarks for this. But if nobody has any questions, that's fine too, or requests. We can go ahead and we'll move on to the open mic portion if nobody has any questions. So we'll give it a couple minutes. Again, use your chat panels in whatever platform you're in and ask a question or request one of the poems. I don't have any non-me poems with me right now, but if I did, I would read any of the ones maybe you heard me read for coffee quickies or anything. But I'll give it 1 minute to see if anything comes into the chat, and if not, then we'll move on to the next piece. And then get ready to do the open mic. So just to warn you, since everything did shut down, I have to just reset something up really quickly for the open mic, open mic piece, just to get it working again. I do appreciate all of your patience as we've been working through these technical difficulties. Sure.
Laura says, how was your process for creating this book different than creating your first book?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So yay, Laura. Thank you. So here's this. So I did for Happy Place, hardback, paperback, ebook, and audiobook all at once. For All Shards and Paste, I only did the paperback first. I was still learning the publishing process, so I didn't do any of the marketing stuff right. I mean, I think I've done a lot more with, I wouldn't say a little bit more professionalism with the second one because I just knew more. I knew more about the process and how to get through it. And I got to do the audiobook version, which was fun. I did end up doing the audiobook version of the first one as a practice as I geared up for publishing Happy Place, so that I would have that practice under my belt too. But I would say definitely this time it was bigger. So I did way more planning. I put way more into it, did all of the versions of the book, and I've been marketing a little better this time because All Shards and Paste came out right before the pandemic, to be fair, and that killed all live events, and basically everybody was in their house for 2 years, so I didn't really get a chance to get into the marketing piece this time. I have been, and my goal is to get out and do more live events too, just more open mic readings and things like that, to start sharing things live. So thank you, Laura. Are there any other questions?
Kelly says, how long did it take you to write the book?
So I've been working on this poetry since 2019. So since the last book came out, I've been writing this poetry and putting it together. I admire poets who can do, 3 books a year. I don't have that kind of energy. I wish I did. And I know one day I will have that energy again. But yeah, it's taken me since 2019 to now to get these poems together for this second book, just because, life, it is what it is.
Another question.
Sure.
Joe Reed is asking, will your book be at any local stores?
So it is not officially in any local bookstores, but you can go to the bookstores and request it, so they can order it for you on your behalf if you have a bookstore that you like to go to. It is in Libby for all of the Northeast Ohio CleveNet library card holders. So you get the audiobook and the ebook through Libby. And I'm taking some hard copies over to the Willoughby Eastlake library branches. this week. So if you want to check out the hardback, you'll be able to get them at least at those libraries. You can go to your library and request it, and they can order it and have it in as well. Thank you.
Jennifer Bowman is saying, do you read your poems at any platform other than online?
I have been to a couple. So here's the thing. I know it doesn't seem like it right now, right? Because I look so cool and collected. But I actually do have a bit of stage fright, so it's difficult for me to get up in front of a crowd. This, like, you can ask my friends. I know some of you came by way of my friends. They will explain to you the chaos that I was in before we went live. I have a little bit of stage fright. My goal in 2024 is to do that more. I do want to get out, and I want to interact with people a little bit more on a personal level. I'm working on getting on stage, and I'm going to do it this year. It's going to happen. Any other questions?
Charlie says, how do you know when the feeling is right to write poetry?
You know, this is kind of funny. This is my writing process. It's kind of wherever I am when a certain line hits my brain, and I I have everything on my phone, so I have my notebooks and I just hurry up and write it down in my notebook on my phone, or I could be at my laptop. It's kind of, I do the whole cloud thing. Um, I have a weird writing process. When it comes to poetry, I'll have a feeling or a thought or a line, and I'll kind of put it in a notebook and it'll sit there. And when I'm feeling the creative juices flowing, I'll go to my notebook and I'll just kind of go, what line am I feeling? What do I feel like I can elaborate on? And then I go through it and I write a poem. It's kind of a weird process, I guess, but that's how I am. I'll go through notebooks and I'll find a line. I'll be like, oh, that's a cool line, and I'll just expand on it and evolve it into a poem. All right. Any other questions or requests? I love that you guys, so many people sent questions in. I love that. Love that. No more? All right. So then you guys, everybody who asked a question gets to go in the spinny wheel. Are you ready over there, Megan? All right, so Megan's going to get you in the spinny wheel, and then we will pick a winner. And again, autographed hardback and wooden bookmarks. Up next, we'll do the open mic. If you are going to participate in the open mic portion, you want to head over to the Jitsi Meet, and don't worry, you don't have to do it right now, Megan. When the time comes, Megan will give you a link, so you can head over there, because the Jitsi Meet is the only one that has live audio for you. Everybody else is just hearing me and what's going on in the meeting. But all right, are we ready, Megan? All right. All right, so here, let me switch my spin so we can see the spinner. All right, give it a spin, give it a spin. Let's see who the winner is. Autographed hardback and wooden bookmarks. Coming up, Charlie. All right, and Charlie, I don't need your address. Don't need your address, Charlie. I know you, but yay, you get an autographed hardback and the wooden bookmarks. Thank you so much, Charlie, Laura, Krista, and Jennifer, for your Q&A questions. I'm going to go ahead and switch over here real quick. So I know this didn't go off as quite planned, but I am going to host 4 more live sessions. But while I tell you about these, what I do want to do is give Megan an opportunity to put that Jitsi Meet link into the Facebook and YouTube chats. So if you want to participate in the open mic, and for that you can read your own poetry, you can read poetry from just your favorite poet, whoever it happens to be. Just bring it to the Jitsi Meet. When you get to the Jitsi Meet, put your name in the chat and let Megan know that you want to participate in the open mic, and she'll put you on the open mic list. All right, but while we wait for everybody to get that going, I'll talk about my virtual tour. So I have not done live events, but I do plan on doing a few more of these virtual events based on, grouping some of the poems around different topics. The first one, of course, breaking cycles, and that's just all about my parents and being a parent and breaking those cycles. February 5th, I'll have one called Letting Go, and those are all the poems that are just about relationships, endings, breakups, things like that. If you're available on February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day, I'm going to have a session called Mushy Mush where I do my, romantic and kind of sexy poems. So you can come for that. What you may need if you're going to come to the lowlights on, look at that, that's leap year, right? That's the leap year, February 29th. We'll do all the depressing poems. We'll do all the sad, the lowlights, the depression poems on that day. All right. And so this is the point where I said, so we got shut down. It's going to give me a couple minutes just to get the open mic stuff set up. And I promise we will head right over there and get that rolling. But I do want to make sure that everything's set up for us. So give us a minute to make that happen, and we will. All right, all right. I think it's gonna work. All right. So who Megan is gonna be our first reader? Did you grab some from this? They should be right in this chat. If you want to participate in the open mic, go to the Jitsi Meet and put your name in the chat.
Are you muted?
Oh,
You're on
yeah.
Facebook.
No, I'm good there. Sorry, I didn't mean to push you out of the way.
Oh, no, that's
That guy right there. Okay. So, so nobody wants to do the open mic. There's like good prizes if you participate in the open mic. You get autographed copies of both of my books, a T-shirt, and the bookmarks. So 2 books, a T-shirt, and bookmarks if you participate in the open mic. And I know Megan wants to read a poem, so I will totally turn this over to Megan to read if you guys aren't going to put your name on the list. Oh. Jaka does. All right, good. So, Jaka, so here, I'm going to mute myself. You go ahead, unmute yourself, and you can go ahead and start reading your poem.
Okay, awesome. This is a poem called
changing with the seasons in cycles and sunsets. The small, hopeful bud, first appearing at the hint of spring, sprouting and reaching for sunlight, growing connected, steady and sure, knowing the tree and its leaf will hold on. It rustles with confidence in a summer breeze and flaps courageously in each passing storm. The colors take hold until the days fade and time slows. Autumn has come and the changes are fast. Each day new colors appear, stretching through the trees like sunrises across a forest sky. But as beauty displays its brilliance in greens and reds and golds, some of the leaves shudder and shrivel, and finally let go. They dance to the ground at varying speeds, a musical rainfall of rustling leaves. Carpeting the ground, a satisfying crunch of percussion, each step creating new sound. There is beauty in the beginnings as things start to grow, watching in awe as they take shape and take hold. And sometimes we weep when it's time to let go. But the journey is wonderful and delicate and hard. There are days when you clutch onto your branch for dear life, and there are days you can enjoy the gentle wind rustle past. The seasons of life encompass us all. They teach us these lessons of leaves as they fall.
That is beautiful. That was so beautiful, Jaga. I loved
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Do we have anybody? Do you want to read another one? That was beautiful. Do we have anybody else on the list? No. Do you want to? Do you want to read another one, Jaga? You can. Oh, Charlie's on there. Charlie said he'll read one too. So we'll let Charlie read one, and then Jacob, you could read another one if you want. That was beautiful. I loved it. Here, let me mute myself, and then Charlie, you go ahead and mute yourself and unmute yourself and read.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, cool. I had to find the poem because I don't have it like memorized or anything. So, you guys can still hear me? Still hear me? Good? Okay, cool. All right. So, this is by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both, and be one traveler long I stood, and looked down as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as far as passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
Thank you so much, Charlie. That was awesome. I love that. Robert Frost is always awesome when it comes to nature.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. All right, Jake, are you going to go again?
Yeah, I one more I can read. Hold on, where did it go? Here we go.
All right, let me mute myself. Hold on one second.
Okay, this one is called The Clearing of the Fog. When I awake, it is damp and dark. The fog, a thick blanket, soft and still. I feel lost, unable to see what lies before me. As I wander, hands first, I feel blind, like I'm walking in place or space or time. I squint. Is that light peeking through? At first, I rejoice, I can see. But as it brightens, it is too much to bear. I close my eyes. I breathe deep to lessen my fear. Open, blink, breathe. As my eyes adjust to the brightness before me, I weep. I watch the dense fog dissipate, evaporate, exposing, billowing, motioning for me to keep going. 1 foot, another, blink, breathe. The sky is clearing, the warmth of the sun on my face, the path so sharp and bright. Smile, blink, breath, step. That's that one.
Unmute.
Beautiful. That was great.
Thank you. Yes.
Uh, so I'm going to read A Birthday Card for a Psychiatrist by Mona Van Duyn. All right. Your friends come fondly to your living room, believing, my dear, that the occasion's mild. Who still feels 40 as a moral crisis in this, the century of the common child? Uncommon gifts brought to midlife in pain are not a prize. The aged gets a cure for tragedy and gives us brand new charts for taking down our psychic temperature. Othello, of course, regrets having been aggressive. Hamlet feels pretty silly to think he trusted terms such as art and honor instead of projection. And out on the moor, King Lear feels maladjusted. An arrogant richness of the human stuff is not a value. Nobody wants to be left holding the bag of himself when all the others are a democratic homogeneity. Prospero strips down to his underpants to teach Miranda that fathers can be informal, while Cleopatra, Juliet, Rosalind, Kate fight for the golden apple labeled normal. In such a state, what laurels can poems bring? What consolation? What wishes? What advice? May your conflicts thin out with your hair. Be happy. We hope you're feeling well. We think you're nice. Till Burnham Wood shall come to Dunsinane, till time shall tell us what we really are, till responsibility, not health, defines the terms of living on this Sirius star. To receive the trauma of birth and pass it on is all we're here for. Yet we hope you realize we're glad that 40 years ago you came to join us in this neurotic enterprise.
Yay. Thank you so much, Megan. Thank you, Megan. Oops. All right. Thank you. All right. So we are actually, thank you, Megan. If you could, I'm going to switch over to the next slide. If you could turn the webcam back on in the Jitsi Meet while we go to the spinner for this. I've already got everybody's name plugged into the browser. We'll give Megan a second to reset. And again, so this one for the open mic, you get an autographed copy of both books and also a t-shirt. If you could, Lisa, give me the middle t-shirt there. I'll show you the t-shirt that you get with this and also the wooden bookmarks. So this is the nice, lovely t-shirt that goes along with the open mic. Again, themed. And who gets it? Megan! Oh, Megan gets it. Well, wait. Oh, not yet for that. There we go. All right, now we're spinning. Who's the winner? Oh, Charlie. It's Charlie again. Charlie's getting all the stuff. Oh my God, but that's okay. I'm about to see him anyway. So thank you, Charlie. So we don't have to get your address, which is nice. But the final piece that I have now that we're kind of at the end. I know we got through it a little quicker than we planned, but that's okay. We have one grand prize, and so Megan, there's another tab in that browser that has a spinner that has everybody's name on it. So Lisa, now can you hand me those last two items? So this is the grand prizes, and so basically it's an autographed copy of both books. I have two t-shirts here. So I have this nice black one with the silver text on it. And then I have this nice fun rainbow one. So a double set of those. Whoops, sorry about that. I also have poetry sign, wood sign, and doodle artwork, and also a set of the bookmarks and a mug. So you can have a mug. So 2 books, 2 t-shirts, mug, bookmarks, signs, all for this final spin. Go ahead and give it a whirl, Megan. Let's see who gets the grand prize. And it is, Michelle gets it. Yay. All right. And so Michelle, I know I'm going to see you, so that's great. Leave those tabs open for me if you could, Megan, just to leave the browser open. That's all I plan to party with you guys today. All the events and all the prizes, all the poems. I'm certainly open to do more poems or let you read more poems or fill in the space, or we could say goodnight and you guys could go enjoy the rest of your Friday night. I do so appreciate everybody coming out and celebrating with me. This really was it was a huge job, and all of my friends will tell you I've been heads down in this for months, trying to make this a reality. And I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy that you guys are here, that we got to do a little bit of games, and I got to practice reading with you and celebrating with you. I definitely can't wait to see some of you at some live readings this year. Don't forget, here, let me go ahead and kick on over to the final side. So I am going to do those other live performances, virtual performances. But if you go ahead and scan, let me make sure I'm going the right way. There we go. Go and hit the QR code with your smartphone camera, and it'll take you to the Happy Place book page. That will have links so that you can get to all these events, links where you can purchase the book in print, digital, or audio book. Get in touch with me. Let's get together, read some poetry, whatever you want to do. Reach out to me. You can get to me all through this website. Again, that's all I have for you guys. Is there anything coming through the chats, Megan? Does anybody want to read again or questions? No? All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming, everyone.